global trade tensions rise amid U.S. tariffs, China-EU EV talks, and regional geopolitical shifts. April 6, 2025, as global trade dynamics continue to shift, tensions have resurfaced following the United States' renewed imposition of tariffs, prompting sharp reactions from key trade partners. Countries affected by the new tariffs warn of economic disruptions, including rising consumer prices, weakened purchasing power, and fractured global supply chains. Many view the measures as protectionist, raising concerns about the weakening of multilateral trade norms. Retaliatory actions are under consideration, particularly from major economies like China and the EU. Economists caution that U.S. industries relying on imported raw materials and components could face significant cost hikes, while farmers and exporters may become targets of counter-tariffs. Foreign investment flows into the U.S. are also at risk amid growing policy unpredictability. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, the European Union is engaged in sensitive negotiations with China over the imposition of a minimum price on electric vehicles, EVs. The EU is seeking to prevent market distortion caused by heavily subsidized Chinese EVs flooding European markets at below-market prices. The move is aimed at safeguarding Europe's domestic auto sector, ensuring fair competition, and supporting a sustainable green transition. For China, reaching an agreement would help avoid the threat of anti-dumping duties and preserve access to one of its most important export markets. A deal could also help stabilize trade relations and signal Beijing's willingness to engage constructively on trade norms. However, if talks fail, the EU is expected to proceed with steep tariffs, which could spark retaliatory measures from China and further strain diplomatic ties. On the geopolitical front, tensions in the Asia-Pacific region have escalated as China conducted fresh military drills around Taiwan. The Chinese government stated that the exercises were aimed at defending national sovereignty and countering foreign interference, particularly from the United States and its allies. The show of force comes amid heightened rhetoric from pro-independence groups in Taiwan and growing Western support for the island. Analysts warn that the increasing frequency of Chinese military maneuvers risks miscalculation and accidental conflict, which would have devastating consequences not only for regional security but also for global supply chains, especially in the semiconductor sector where Taiwan plays a central role. These developments come just weeks ahead of the highly anticipated Expo 2025 in Osaka, Japan, themed Designing Future Society for Our Lives. The event aims to promote global cooperation on sustainable development, innovation, and inclusive growth. Over 150 countries are set to participate, with a focus on emerging technologies, environmental solutions, and equitable health systems. Yet, with global trade under strain and geopolitical risks mounting, questions remain about whether the international community can rally around shared values and multilateral cooperation. The vision of a peaceful, future-oriented global society may depend on how these complex challenges are managed in the months ahead.